Todd Phillips's Joker opens not with a bang, but with a whisper, an eerie silence echoing through the crumbling streets of Gotham City. This version of Gotham is far from the stylized superhero playground we've come to know from other DC films. It's dirty, it's bitter, and it's deeply familiar. It looks like a distorted mirror of 1980s New York. Garbage strikes, rising crime, mental health budget cuts. It's within this setting we meet Arthur Fleck, played masterfully by Joaquin Phoenix, a man slowly unraveling under the weight of poverty, mental illness, and social rejection. Arthur is a clown for hire by day and a failed stand-up comedian by night. But even those roles are slipping from his grasp. Every encounter with the world outside his apartment leaves a mark, be it humiliation, violence, or indifference. Gotham doesn't just ignore Arthur, it actively mocks him. He's beaten by teenagers in an alley, ridiculed by his co-workers, and later betrayed by them. Even his therapist seems mechanical, more interested in ticking boxes than actually helping. They don't give a shit about people like you, she admits before their last session, words that ring louder as the film unfolds. The visual storytelling in this act is exceptional. Cinematographer Lawrence Shear paints Arthur's world in sickly greens and muted browns. The lighting is claustrophobic, with long shadows and tight shots that make you feel as though you're trapped inside Arthur's disintegrating mind. Every frame screams loneliness. Phillips doesn't shy away from the quiet moments. Scenes linger. We watch Arthur dance slowly, obsessively in his apartment. His laughter, caused by a neurological condition, erupts at the worst possible times. It's not funny. It's painful. It's involuntary. Joaquin Phoenix's performance in these moments is raw and almost uncomfortable. His thin frame and hunched posture emphasize his vulnerability, but it's the eyes that tell the real story. They're desperate to connect, yet guarded by years of pain. There's a clear intention here to not just tell the story of how Joker came to be, but to ask the audience, how many Arthur Flecks are out there? How many people fall through the cracks because society doesn't have the time, the money, or the empathy? Critically, this first act doesn't ask us to pity Arthur, but it does ask us to understand him. It lays the foundation for everything that's about to erupt, not just in Arthur, but in Gotham itself. The system is broken, the people are angry, and one man, ignored and forgotten, is beginning to turn into something else. This slow psychological build-up is what separates Joker from most origin stories. It's not about superpowers or evil plans, it's about emotional erosion, an unstable man in an unstable world, and it's only the beginning. As Joker moves into its second act, the film dives deeper into Arthur Fleck's mental deterioration and begins to blur the line between victim and villain. This is where the transformation truly begins, not just in Arthur's makeup and clothing, but in his psychology, his sense of identity, and the role he believes he plays in the world. The subway scene marks a pivotal shift. After being harassed by three arrogant businessmen, clearly intended to represent the elite class, Arthur snaps. The gun, given to him as a friend, becomes the tool through which Arthur finally feels powerful. It's a jarring moment, brutal, fast, yet strangely quiet. There's no triumphant music, no slow motion, just the echo of gunshots and Arthur's shallow, panicked breathing. And yet, in the aftermath, something changes. He flees into a grimy public restroom, and rather than panic, he dances, slowly, deliberately, like a ritual. This dance, an eerie ballet of rebirth, is one of the film's most haunting images. It's the moment Arthur stops being a man trying to fit in and starts becoming the Joker. For the first time, he feels seen, not as Arthur the failed clown or Arthur the delusional comedian, but as something else entirely. An idea, a symbol. He doesn't yet understand what kind, but the city begins to react. The murders spark a public movement. Protesters wear clown masks. They speak out against the rich. And Arthur? He watches, almost in awe. He didn't plan this, he didn't organise anything. But the chaos he created resonates. The film is making a subtle yet powerful point here. Revolutions often begin not with ideologies, but with pain. As Arthur spirals further, we see him unravel completely. He discovers shocking secrets about his mother, Penny Fleck, whom he had lovingly cared for. He learns that she may have lied about his past, that he may have been adopted and abused. Or is this just another lie? The film keeps us guessing. Reality becomes slippery. Arthur's neighbour, Sophie, who seemed to be a gentle romantic interest, is revealed to be a figment of his imagination. This twist is handled brilliantly, retroactively casting a tragic shadow over earlier scenes. Critically, this is where the film becomes controversial. Some see this descent as a bold and necessary character study. Others argue that it treads too close to glorifying violence. But to be clear, Joker never asks you to cheer for Arthur. It shows you a man collapsing under societal pressure and personal trauma, and invites you to observe what happens when empathy disappears. Phoenix's performance deepens. His laugh shifts, no longer just a medical condition, but something that carries defiance, even threat. His posture changes. He begins to look up instead of down. When he eventually embraces the Joker identity, dancing on the stairs in full costume, it's both exhilarating and terrifying. This act ends with a man fully untethered from his former self. The question now becomes, what happens when someone who has nothing left to lose decides to show the world who he really is? In Joker's third act, the film sharpens its focus on the toxic relationship between media, public perception, and individual identity, an area that makes the story feel disturbingly relevant in today's world. Arthur Fleck, now firmly transformed into the Joker persona, is thrust into the spotlight, but not in the way he ever expected. Arthur's fragile desire for recognition leads him to the Murray Franklin Show, a late-night talk show hosted by the celebrity Murray Franklin, played by Robert De Niro. Arthur idolizes Murray, imagining the interview as his big break, his chance to finally be seen and heard. But the media, represented by Murray's show, isn't interested in empathy or understanding. It wants entertainment, spectacle, and most importantly, ratings. The interview scene is one of the film's most powerful moments. Arthur starts with an awkward, nervous energy, but as Murray mocks him on air, the lines between victim and aggressor blur. Arthur admits to killing 3 men on the subway, and his twisted humour and chilling confessions shake the audience. When he kills Murray live on stage, the act is shocking and symbolic, a violent rejection of the society that's marginalised him. This event ignites citywide riots. Clad in clown masks, protesters take to the streets, not just to support Joker, but to challenge the systemic inequalities festering in Gotham. Here, the film moves beyond Arthur's personal story to become a broader social commentary. Joker asks uncomfortable questions. What happens when society turns a blind eye to mental illness? How does poverty breed violence? When do the marginalised become monsters in the eyes of the majority? The film's portrayal of Gotham's elites, wealthy, detached and dismissive, creates a clear dichotomy that frames the narrative. It's an allegory for class struggle, gentrification, and social alienation. Todd Phillips' direction, combined with Hildur Gudnadottir's haunting score, turns Gotham into a character itself, dark, unpredictable, and ready to explode. The sound design emphasizes the chaos, while the visuals oscillate between gritty realism and surreal nightmare. However, this part of the film also invites criticism. Some viewers worry that Joker glamorizes violent rebellion or inspires real-world copycats. Others praise its raw honesty and psychological depth. It's a divisive topic that fuels discussion about the responsibility of filmmakers in handling sensitive subject matter. Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal shines here. His Joker is not a cartoon villain, but a deeply human, tragic figure. The laughter that once seemed involuntary becomes a weapon and a mask, concealing pain and rage. His transformation challenges traditional superhero genre norms by refusing to simplify good and evil. Overall, the third act serves as a bridge between Arthur's personal breakdown and the social upheaval that follows. The film uses media as a tool and weapon, both to elevate and destroy. This duality reflects our own era's media landscape, where virality and outrage often override nuance and compassion. In summary, this part of Joker highlights the collision of individual madness and societal decay, forcing viewers to grapple with their own perceptions of villainy and victimhood. The final act of Joker brings Arthur Fleck's transformation full circle, culminating in a sequence that is as thrilling as it is disturbing. Now fully embodying the Joker persona, Arthur confronts the world with a terrifying new confidence and clarity. The film's climax centers around his live appearance on the Murray Franklin Show, a moment fraught with tension, spectacle, and ultimate chaos. Arthur's entrance onto the stage is striking. He's no longer the timid, broken man from the beginning. Painted in full clown makeup, dressed sharply in a red suit, and moving with the wild abandon of someone who has shed all societal constraints, he commands attention. His monologue on live television is not just a confession of murder, but a manifesto for the disenfranchised. Arthur positions himself as a voice for those ignored by the wealthy elite, a dark messiah for Gotham's underclass. The murder of Murray Franklin on live TV shocks both the characters and the audience. It serves as the catalyst for widespread civil unrest. Gotham explodes into riots, fires, and violence, with Joker's image becoming a symbol of rebellion. This finale dramatizes how one individual's personal pain can spiral into collective upheaval, underscoring the fragile balance between order and chaos in society. Todd Phillips deliberately leaves the narrative ambiguous towards the very end. The last scenes blur the lines between reality and Arthur's fantasies, with a haunting image of Arthur dancing down a corridor in Arkham Asylum. Is this a final embrace of madness, or a metaphor for the ongoing cycle of violence? The film refuses easy answers, compelling viewers to wrestle with their own interpretations. Critics have been polarized by the ending and the film's overall message. Some praise Joker for its unflinching portrayal of mental illness, societal neglect, and class struggle, crediting it with elevating the comic book genre to new artistic heights. Joaquin Phoenix's performance, which won him the Academy Award for Best Actor, is widely hailed as one of the most intense and transformative in recent cinema. However, others worry that the film romanticizes violence and could inspire copycat behavior. The depiction of Arthur's violent acts as a response to systemic failure risks blurring the line between explanation and justification. In the context of real-world social unrest and increasing awareness of mental health issues, this concern is understandable. Moreover, Joker provokes a broader discussion about how society treats its most vulnerable members. The film acts as a mirror, reflecting our failures to address poverty, alienation, and mental health. It asks, what happens when empathy disappears? When systems break down? When people are pushed to their limits? Visually, the film remains hauntingly beautiful to the end. Hilda Gudnadottir's score intensifies the emotional impact, weaving melancholy with menace. The cinematography captures both the vast, crumbling cityscape and the claustrophobic interiors of Arthur's mind. In conclusion, Joker is not merely a movie about a comic book villain. It's a dark, tragic exploration of a man and a society unraveling in tandem. The film's power lies in its ambiguity and its refusal to offer easy moral judgments. It challenges viewers to confront uncomfortable truths about isolation, violence, and humanity. For better or worse, Joker leaves an indelible mark on modern cinema and on anyone willing to face its unsettling questions.